All power and all money comes from the consumer. And your superpower as a CMO is knowing who they are, knowing what they think, and knowing what they do.
If you are aspiring to be a CMO in the audience right now, or if you are an actual CMO, what are the 1, 2, or 3 things that you absolutely should be getting up tomorrow morning and doing?
There's really only 2, I think. The first is practicing market orientation. It's bringing the voice of the consumer in. So the first thing is walk the streets, use the data, get dirty in the market. And then the second one is strategy before tactics.
Welcome to Frontier CMO. Thrilled to be talking with you. You're an outsider, insider of the marketing community. Just give me a sense of what's the state of marketing today, and answer any which way you will.
It's a perfect time for me to answer the question. The reason I'm in London is I partnered with Ipsos to do a very interesting piece of research. We surveyed a representative sample of marketers in the US, UK, Canada, Australia. And Ipsos asked them a bunch of questions about how they felt about AI and other stuff. And I slipped in 10 questions that are basically sub-undergraduate knowledge questions about marketing, with a single hypothesis, which is I don't think many marketers know much about marketing. And so sure enough, what we discovered, and I'm telling you, these are the world's most obvious questions. What does positioning mean? What are the 4 Ps? What does above the line mean? So, we really are talking about...
I know 2 of those.
Well, that's good. That's good. We found that, 70% of marketers can't pass a basic test of marketing. So, only about 50% of them knew what above the line meant or what positioning was. And it's not, do you believe in positioning? It's just, what is it, So I then looked at the data and said, why is it so bad? And the answer is dead simple. We checked every variable, B2B, B2C, size of company, gender, age, seniority. None of them are significant. The significant explanatory variable is, do you have any training in marketing? Yes or no? And if you have training in marketing in America, you're 6 times more likely to know the answers. And of course, this is screamingly obvious, except to marketers who have built a propaganda that says you don't need marketing training to work in marketing. And what we've created successfully, I think, over the last 20 years is the least trained profession in the professional world, and an army of marketers who don't know anything about the thing that they do. And I really feel like we're on the cusp, especially with AI, of a marketing apocalypse, because the levels of knowledge are getting so poor. Why do they think we're not very smart? I think the main answer is because we're not very smart, at least when it comes to our own discipline. So there were audible gasps when we presented it in America. And today in London, we had a similar response. It's a disciplinary shit show of the highest order.
This podcast is called Frontier CMO.
Yes.
Give me in a couple of sentences, if you are aspiring to be a CMO in the audience right now, or if you are an actual CMO, what are the 1, 2, or 3 things that you absolutely should be getting up tomorrow morning and doing, or make sure you're really doing?
There's really only 2, I think. The first is practicing market orientation. Most important concept in marketing, most important thing a CMO does. They remember that ultimately it's not what you think or your team thinks or your CEO thinks. All power and all money comes from the consumer. And your superpower as a CMO is knowing who they are, knowing what they think, and knowing what they do. It's bringing the voice of the consumer in. So the first thing is walk the streets, use the data, get dirty in the market. Every day you spend in head office, you learn less and less about your brand and your company. And then the second one is strategy before tactics. I would say 9 times out of 10, what lets a senior marketer down is they jump to tactics and they never had a strategy. And I think the tragedy of modern marketing is more than 90% of marketers never have a strategic day in their lives. They live in the tactical bushfires that surround them, and they don't even know what they're missing. Learn strategy. Learn to have the discipline to have a strategic plan, which really is only about targeting, positioning, and objectives. That's really what it means. Have those done before you even touch communications or product development or distribution. What is your strategy?
The fundamentals matter. Strategy before tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, thank you so much for being on Frontier CMO.
My pleasure.